everybody. Thank you to everyone who has pitched up super early. Statistically, there is only one person, which might just be me, but I don't know. Anyway, so today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Let me just lower our music to a reasonable level. So today we're going to be doing something a bit different in terms of last time we were working in Photoshop on a Windows PC, and we did the artwork was already like past the sketching and color and line art phase, and we were taking that and doing the rendering and doing some lighting and all of that, which was a lot of fun. But today we are going to be doing the from scratch. So I put out a poll on Instagram, and the general consensus, it was actually quite close, was to do a my original characters, but specifically my historical fiction ones. I say historical fiction, it's very loose historical fiction, but I didn't want to say fantasy because I had another character that was listed as fantasy. So that was the consensus. Like, a lot of people really wanted to see my OCs, but the historical fiction ones. It was close. It was quite close between them and the fantasy character, and so in the end, it did win. There are people who are going to vote, I think, long after. So let's hope that the poll doesn't change, because it'll be a little bit disappointing to everyone who did vote. Unfortunately, though, I don't think I can end the poll early, so there is that. But that's okay. We're just gonna keep going. We'll figure it out. But yeah, but today we're also going to be working on an iPad. I spent the whole morning trying to figure out how to stream from my iPad directly. So I need to just set that up. I've been charging it the whole day. Well, I say set that up, I mean I have to turn it on. But yeah, it's been charging. We're doing good. Hopefully the battery lasts, so it might be a little bit of a shorter stream because I haven't got my charger connected to it yet. But that's fine. It doesn't have to be super long. So without further ado, let us get into the video. Or the video. I sound like a YouTuber. The stream. So you'll see the broadcast thing initially. Hopefully it works. It should. It was working earlier. Technical difficulties. Give me a minute. It doesn't want to. Okay, just give me like a little bit, and I'll figure it out. I think I have to turn some things on. These? Maybe do I need to add another one? Rules when not visible, bandwidth, audio. Okay. Is it not working? No, it says it's working. Oh, there it is. Okay. I see what happened. Remove the duplicate. Okay. Yeah. So basically today we're going to be working on my original characters. I have some stuff prepared already. I do have references up on my main computer, but I did make this. So if we go image, import image, you'll be able to see some of my reference stuff. But here we go. So I did make this, for everyone interested. So this is the pose we're going to be working with today. We're also going to be using some very snazzy, like, I suppose tips or like techniques from one of my favorite artists, Frostbite Studios. She has recently made a tutorial on her Patreon, which I am a part of. So if you go and join her Cerulean tier, you'll be able to see basically her process from end to end. It's like how she gathers references, Magic Poser, which is how I made this pose, and then as well as like the sketch to line art, color, and then we're still waiting on the final one, which is the rendering. But that one is I'm very excited for that one, because one of the things I think she just does so fantastically is like color shifts. Which I want to kind of learn how to do a bit better in my artworks. So yeah, so we're doing this today with our characters. So they're going to be coming to life with this. One of the things that Frostbite does, which I really like a lot, is she uses like a paper texture in the back of her artworks. So if you go and Google just free paper textures, there's a person on the Procreate forums who went and made a Google folder just like full of paper textures. Hey, welcome Dice. thank you for joining my stream. It's not Overwatch. This is my day job. This is an art stream, so I appreciate the watching, but please don't feel like you have to stick around. We're drawing like romantic book characters, but I do appreciate the drop-in. But anyway, back to the paper textures. So yeah, you can find them for free on Google Drive from the Procreate forums, and then you just kind of pick whichever one you like. I quite like this one. It's very textured. And then you just drop the opacity a little bit, but there's a few others that you can use as well, and then you can just lock the layer. Then in terms of brushes on Procreate, my Procreate brushes are available. Some of them I made. So I made this outline brush, and I made the hard airbrush jitter. But everything else is Procreate default, and then the line art brush is actually from Frostbite. She didn't, I don't know if she made it, but she showed the settings and then I just remade it. But it's actually, it's the only difference between it and like a general line art brush is it's basically a hard airbrush, but with a different shape. So it has like a little bit of a texture to it. And that is what kind of gives it its like nice line art feel. So if we do like a brown, then it has, let me make it big so you can see it's got like a little bit of a jitter over there. So yes, that's what we're going to be using today. I generally will sketch with the scratch board sometimes, but I've noticed it's a bit like aggressive, and so I'm not as confident in my sketching as other artists. But I'm so glad you love art, Dice. Thank you. It's gonna be a very like chilled, relaxed stream. Nothing crazy. Lots of just lo-fi music and vibes. But yeah, so let's get into it. So I want to like do a specific framing for this. So I don't generally like doing full body characters because I am lazy, but I was thinking something like this. What we're going to do with her other hand, I don't know, but that's a problem for later on. So let us get straight into the sketching, and you can just watch along. And obviously I'm always available to answer any questions that anyone may have. If you want to ask things about like anatomy, like approaching, sketching, how I come up with posing is also an option. Like I came up with this pose like as a combination of two reference photos. One is like a woman underneath, like pulling the necklace of a man, and so I liked the idea that she had like this really pointy nail. But I was like, what if my character was like putting it like on his chin? So the dynamic between these characters, which I'll discuss as we draw, they're kind of in a contractual agreement, shall we say, right? The two of them, they've kind of decided, okay, they're gonna work together because our male lead, he needs her help. So she's like a very like notorious assassin in this time period. It's set in the 1890s, in not London, but basically London. And basically, it's like, so she was this notorious assassin like many years ago, and then has since decided she would like to repent, shall we say, like for her past misdeeds. And as a result, so she was kind of like living her life very plainly. She was attempting to, you know, like repent by saving lives. So she's actually a professional doctor, or like at the time I think it's called like an apothecary. And so that is what she's doing. And then our male lead finds out about her and is like, well, there's this really important competition that's about to happen, which is going to decide the owner for these magical artifacts that you get in the world, which are, I call them crowns, but they're not like a literal crown. They're like a magical placement, or like a magical state of office. So there isn't magic in the world in terms of like bibbidi boppity wizards. It's actually there's two kinds of magic. There's the magic of the crowns, which is your more like hard magic system, but with restriction, like with a lot of power. So basically, like some crowns can give you like the ability to speak to animals, or the like ability, like one I have is like the guy can talk to the wind, which I thought was quite cool. So it's a lot of like fairy themed like powers, because the idea is that this world is made up of fae and humans. And then some crowns can be like really boring. Like there was a joke that I had with my boyfriend that the one was like the guy could only talk to beavers, which I thought was quite funny. And so we have this idea that he was like, he could only talk to beavers, but he revolutionized the water and dam infrastructure of the entire country because he was able to like get the beavers to build dams and stuff, which is really dumb. It's really dumb. But like that was the idea of like that, okay, that's something that could happen when you get chosen with these crowns. And then the second kind of magic that I have in the world is alchemy. But the way that alchemy works, which I had a lot of fun like figuring out, was it uses people's blood. So every person in the world, human or fae, doesn't really matter, they all have a magical aptitude, sort of like mana. They have mana in their system, and they can't access it, but if you then go and like use their blood and combine it with like alchemical ingredients, you'll be able to access that mana and like create magical effects. Now the magical effects are like kind of varied. So one of the main ones that I have is like you can use it to physically enhance your like body. So you can go from like being a normal person to like a super soldier, essentially. And you can like increase your healing rate. Like you can heal yourself like rapidly. Like that sort of stuff is what I had in mind for the like what you could do with it. And then another one that I thought was quite fun was that obviously if you can do those sorts of things, people are gonna figure out a way to do like makeup. And so in the world, like all makeup is actually alchemy, which is not, you know, untrue to like our actual world, but essentially the way it works is people use makeup to like this alchemical like tinctures and stuff to like give themselves like glittery eyes or like sparkly skin, to give themselves like different pupil sizes, to like make their hair like glow. The one guy, I haven't decided if it's because of the crown he has or if it's that he's just really vain, but the one character, he has like prismatic eyes, because his whole thing is that he basically can take a dream you've had and bring it into the real world, which I thought was really cool. These characters are different heights, they're like sitting on different levels of the world. But yeah, and so that's kind of how it works, which is very, very cool. I've had a lot of fun like coming up with like how the different magic systems and stuff would all interact, because I definitely wanted a hard magic system, so something that didn't have a lot of like ways it could be like different uses. Like I wanted it to be that, okay, you can do X, Y, and Z, like these very specific things, because otherwise you just end up with the like, well, why don't they just, you know, solve all their problems with magic? Which obviously makes a lot of sense and it's a good question, but it doesn't really make for a great story. And I also kind of like the idea that some people have magic and others not so much. What's this one? Which is cool. I've had a lot of fun like concepting it, and have enjoyed it immensely. But yeah, so that's what I have going on here for our characters, which is very, very exciting. Arm could actually be lower. I think it needs to be as high. So this is the thing, is like when you draw with references, I actually think I'm gonna put this on a different layer. But when you draw with references, you will get better and better at making them accurate to the reference, whereas I am not that good. And so I tend to have to like redraw stuff. I also like to draw things and then pose them like on separate layers so that I can minimize the amount of like error that I would potentially have. So in this regard, we're going to pose the arm. That is a scary witch finger. But yeah, we're gonna pose the arm separately to get the desired look, and then go back to the original layer. I just want to keep an eye on my battery. Nah, we're good. So yeah, we're gonna go back here. And he is actually holding something. supposed to be like a really fancy cane. I don't know what's going on in this bottom section here. I think this is a really good showcase of the fact that a lot of the time artists don't always know what they're doing, and it can lead to some very funny, very interesting scenarios where you just question everything. You're just like, what am I doing? Why did I do this? So she's supposed to be quite a bit shorter than him. But the way height works is really interesting, because generally people's hips kind of sit around similar levels. I have an artwork here with people's heights. Yeah, it's actually fine for his hips to be a bit higher. One thing I will say for Magic Poser is that the artwork can well, not the artwork, but the pose can kind of come out a little bit stiff, and so it can be really nice to go in with your liquify tool and just like smush things around a bit, just to give it a little bit more of that like looseness. Because people tend to, like, you distribute your weight across your body when you're standing. You don't kind of stand perfectly balanced or like perfectly distributed with your body weight. So it's important to kind of take that into consideration. Like, I might even change this whole bottom section here. I think I'm gonna do that. Like bring his hips forward, make him stand. This. And then maybe I'll just put his hand in his pocket. I've been doing that a lot recently. Like, I've found putting men's hands in their pockets to be very fun. And then he can have the cane maybe here. I have adjusting light on my iPad and it's a little bit annoying. Oh, I'm sorry, Dice. If you want, the stream is on YouTube as well. So you can go pop over to YouTube. I think I can put the link in chat. And then you can just like rewind. But I do keep my streams on Twitch, so they are available as VODs afterwards. I think I get 7 days. And so you'll also be able to go and like quickly grab the synopsis again after that. Now I have to figure out what I want them to wear. Brown. And has a very long jawline. But he's supposed to be very pointy. He actually has pointed ears. Hehe, he's an elf. What I will do is I realized I've actually... So I don't listen to the lo-fi, because I've got really big headphones, and they're quite sore to listen to on the computer for long periods of time. So I've got music on my phone, but I realized I'm not actually listening to anything. I'm just sitting here in silence listening to the dulcet tones of the waste removal truck as it goes past my house. It's amazing. So, in this phase, it's mainly about like blocking out the general shapes and like the overall like sizing of everything, because we'll get into like the main details like as we get into like the line art phase. Obviously there's certain things where, you know, like I know she'll wear a dress because it's that time period. I actually want her to wear like a blouse. I just don't know what yet. I have a Pinterest board though, so I will go and reference this now. I called it this. A really big source of like costume inspiration for this world was the movie Crimson Peak. Like I thought that was a very, very cool movie, and really had that like interesting like clothing style, because like I like the idea that in this world, because they've had like the Fae live alongside humanity, a lot of the like costumes and stuff that the characters wear are like inspired by nature, and so they have like spider web themes or like flowers or things like that. I think on my Patreon there are 2 portraits of the main characters, and the one is like he has like a beetle cravat brooch, and then the other one she has like these little black flowers on her shirt, and then she like has butterflies in her hair, which is really pretty. I felt very proud of myself for coming up with that. I was like, ooh, look at me go. I like this. But yeah, but Crimson Peak, so good for this sort of stuff. Like, it's really cool. But one thing I really loved, like, about the era of the 1890s, like 1890, around that time, is they had these like really puffy sleeves that were then like would go into really tight sleeves, and I just thought that was really cool. And then they'd always have like, it's a little like jacket, and then it would be over like the skirt, and they always had these like beautiful voluminous skirts that they would use. The only thing that I haven't yet decided on into like design wise in this particular piece is like, do I want her hair to be up or down? Because so far I've only ever drawn her hair up. So I don't know. Decisions. I kind of like the idea of her hair being down for this piece. Because she hasn't, like up until now, had her hair down. Hi Sam, welcome. Sorry if I don't get to your like chat immediately, because I'm kind of like trying to balance having everything on like one screen, but I think I'm actually just gonna move this over here, and you won't see because it's sneaky hidden behind stuff. Also, this is I forgot to talk about this, but for those watching, I still have the pre-order information for the project I was working on with the exclamation book. So if you're interested in Wednesday meets Norse mythology, berserker, like bear shifter, in like a mystical high school in a Nordic setting, please do check out Beast Becomes Her. It's super cool. Yep, I really enjoyed working on the piece, and I am actually very excited to read it. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Now the real question is, how poofy should we make her sleeves? I think it can shrink a bit. Maybe I could do a half up, half down. Quicksilver has you, like, what kind of chokehold? Like, is this like a, oh, it's really good, or like I'm choking on my laughter? Because I have heard very differing opinions about Quicksilver. And I'd actually be really interested to see what you think about it. Where is this art piece? we go. I think it's like coming along. Now, I think we'll do the like simple hair for this dude. You know what? That's fair. That's fair. I did laugh though at how our main character's really tall, but we can't have a main character who's too tall or like taller than the man. So the man had to be 7 feet tall, and I thought that was quite amusing. Like that one just tickled me. I was like, oh, it's this kind of thing. Okay. Oh, I cannot spell. Do wavy. Do some referencing. This one's a better reference. That is true. Apparently he was. So, but I mean, I haven't read the book, so I'm gonna trust your judgment. But yeah, apparently he's just really tall. He's much taller than the female lead. Which, I mean, like, I make jokes, but I'm currently very guilty of creating this trope. Like in my own like original characters, which is hilarious because usually I make very, very tall characters, and then like the one time I made a short one and everyone was like, oh my god, they always make like really short female characters compared to male characters, and like, what is this? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I am perpetuating the problem. I will say, I think the most difficult part of like designing these characters is the male costumes. Like having a man like in something that's interesting is really difficult. I think I'm gonna have his wings out. Because yes, he has wings. Like this. Oh, okay. So he is 7 feet tall. I was not incorrect. I mean, yeah, fairies are just elves. So... Oh, okay. So it was like, it's lore, but kind of not really. Okay, that's interesting. But I mean, yeah, like he's obviously really tall. But I really do agree. Like I do find the like fae being just elves like really annoying. Because like that was the thing I wanted to do when I made like these characters, was I was like I want them to feel like the difference between like the fae and the humans, but also the like between the fae. Like I wanted that to feel like really interesting and cool, and like, you know, meaningful. And so that's kind of like how I got to where I am. Like some of them are like kind of humanoid, because obviously like our main like dude has to kind of be a bit humanoid, for the purposes of romance. But you know, he doesn't have to be that human, so oh gosh. Drawing this angle. Exactly. Western romance. Indeed. That would be kind of scary. Like if he could just shrink. I would be very fearful for my life. I'd be like, I don't know. I don't know about this, man. You never know what he'd be listening to. He like comes into the bathroom and you never know. I mean, they do. I mean, well, we're talking about like your basic American novel writers, who, by Eastern Romance standards, are either really out there, like really out there, because they held hands and kissed, or really tame. So it's kind of like, take your pick as to which one you want. I want to maybe make them like higher on the canvas. I don't know. Maybe. Yes, maybe. Ooh. Do some liquify. I think his face needs to be longer. Okay. I think this is a good enough sketch. I think we can do some more interesting things. Yes, okay, so what we are drawing today is my original characters from the book that I'm like inverted commas writing, because I'm not writing currently, but I concepted the whole book, and as a result I think it's super cool. But basically it's the two main characters called Jesper and Killian. I have mentioned them I think to you before, Sam. Yes, I did. But anyway, they're just like doing a cool pose because the patron, or not patrons, the Instagrammers voted for the historical fiction original characters, and so here we are doing the historical fiction original characters. Oh my god, no! Did it? Who did this? No! Okay, I knew this was gonna happen. I predicted it at the beginning of the stream. I was like, I'm gonna start with the historical fiction OCs and then watch it change in the poll to something else. And it did. It changed to the fantasy one. So now I'm screwed. So I apologize to everyone who voted for my fantasy OC. But what we can do, you know, because it's not just limited to one, is we can draw that one next time. There. Problem solved. I think that's a good idea. I'm actually gonna close the reference thing. And now we're on to line art, which is always fun. I love line art. I did. I saw you voted for which. I actually was quite sad. Oh, I think there's a crane outside. That explains the noise. But I saw you voted for that, and I was a little bit sad it didn't win. But I don't think it's not as popular as like a lot of the book stuff I draw. But I thought it would be the one that would win though, because it's the like most I say commercial, but it's like it's commercial, you know? So I was like, oh, like surely that's the one that'll win. Well, apparently not. Man has a huge mouth. You think that can make this gap even bigger? Just move. I need to pull up my original painting of this man, because I don't remember what he looks like. Oh no, where did I put him? Here? I found it! Success! Very pointy. but I like them a lot. His hair is really difficult to draw. And it annoys me. Yeah, I want to work on her face now, I think. A bit more. Like, I like to switch between the two. Now I need her reference image. I mean, I love drawing Jesper. She's like one of my favorite, like, original characters I've ever made. As you can see, I am much better at drawing women. Than I am at men, because Jesper's lines are a lot cleaner than Killian's. So let's go clean that up. Check my battery. Okay, we're at 60%. Not bad. Oh goodness, hope you guys can't hear that. But it's fine. It's just on my neighbor's little doggy. She's very cute. Or he, I think he. Tim. The wrong layer. I don't know what's happening. Stop. Hey, welcome, welcome, Richard. Thank you, thank you. I'm quite chuffed with how it's turning out. I think it's pretty cool. These characters are my original ones from Mabuku. No, my book is not available for any sort of pre-order because I haven't written it, obviously. So as soon as it is written, I will obviously attempt to publish it. But for now, it is not written. So I'm kind of just going along, like as I, you know, get the inspiration for it. So there's no like I'm not pressuring myself to finish it or anything. Make her sleeves pretty, but how? Yeah, so we're drawing in Procreate today on the iPad because I wanted to show people what my Procreate workflow looks like. One thing I struggle with in Procreate, and I don't know if it's because I have to hold the pencil so tightly, but I kind of struggle with like nice smooth lines. And give her a cool wrist. Can you palm? Yeah, it doesn't input in the same way as like the touchscreen. You can even turn off the like finger input completely, which is really cool. I enjoy that a lot, that as an option. I have not got the large pen grip yet, so I'm trying to be very careful, but I'm very excited. I have ordered it. So in theory it's gonna arrive, I think in the next like week or so. Need to check. Yes, that is in theory, that's what's supposed to happen. Unfortunately, as much as I would like to have her hair up, I think this is not going to be the outfit for that, because it's just messing with the silhouette. So I'll have to put her in something else another time. Put a braid in there, that would be nice. How long have we been going for? this here. We have been streaming for 2 hours. So I think I'm gonna call it there. Just because I need to go feed my dog. He is giving me the little cute face. So I need to go do that, and then just take a break because the iPad's a little bit more straining on my wrist than like the Wacom. The reason for that is just it's a smaller space that I'm working in. So it's not like anything crazy, but it is something to keep in mind for all the little baby artists in chat, that you must please be very, very careful of the amount of time you spend drawing, like on your like different like devices. You can draw a little bit longer on like the bigger tablets, but you still have to be so careful. Like I did actually draw earlier today because I was doing some work stuff, like some work sketches, and that obviously adds, like, it's all cumulative, right? So like all of the time you spend drawing, it accumulates. It's not like, oh well, I did like one session that was like 3 hours and then another one that was like another 3 hours. Oh, it's only 6. It's like no. You cumulatively can strain your wrist. So please be very careful of that. You don't want to end up with like carpal tunnel syndrome or any of those like really awful ones. There are a few artists who can attest to the importance of taking breaks. So please do that. Anyway, I'm going to end that here. Thank you so much to everyone for coming and watching and for supporting my stream. Every time you guys come and watch me, we are one step closer to getting Twitch affiliate, and I can start providing you with like really nice benefits, such as subscriptions, and I'll be able to like, you know, participate in like the subscription specials. Like there's one running at the moment with Discord, and all those sorts of things. So I really appreciate it. Next time we will either continue with this or we'll do something new. But I know a lot of the requests for my stream were for slightly more educational content, and so I will attempt to do that as well. But anyway, thank you so much to everyone, and I really hope you have a wonderful Tuesday.